Okay, so this week we are talking about the lymphatic system, which is also part of our immune system. So the lymphatic system is a critical part of our immune system. The lymphatic system functions as the body's inner drainage system, helping to eliminate toxins and waste. The lymphatic system's prime role is to defend the body against dangerous invaders, such as infections, bacteria, and even alien cells, while maintaining a balance in the body's fluid levels. The immune system is vital for our survival. This intricate network of cells work together to identify, isolate, and attack invading pathogens to keep us healthy. A balanced gut flora plays a part in our immunity and also helps stop the body from developing intolerances to food. So today we're going to talk about how key nutrients and holistic remedies boost the immunity and enhance the gut environment. And when the body is under attack, how natural remedies can calm the inflammation and rebuild a healthy immune response. Okay, so when I saw this picture, when I was looking for pictures, I just died because I thought it was hilarious. So I had to use it. So I'm going to go through and we're going to talk about some conditions of the lymphatic or the immune system. Oh my gosh. As always, not a medical doctor. I don't treat or diagnose because we are going to talk about the big C word here in a minute. So just keep that in mind. So natural remedies can be supportive during cancer treatments, during recovery, helping to boost immunity and energy levels. There are certain herbs and supplements that can support the body during treatment by helping to manage side effects, improve resilience, and strengthen. What just happened to my notes? They just disappeared. Weird. Okay, sorry. And help strengthen immunity. The anti-inflammatory and antioxidant actions of herbs are beneficial. So turmeric is an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and has many beneficial actions to support treatment. Astragalus can be taken during treatment to strengthen immunity and improve general health. And milk thistle is an antioxidant that strengthens and protects the liver. But as always, you should always check with your doctor, especially if this is the case before taking anything. Essential oils like frankincense have been a vital supplement to support natural cancer therapies because it's able to pass through the cells and cross the blood-brain barrier, unlike chemotherapy chemicals. Myrrh exhibits inhibitory effects of cancer cell growth. Orange, there's over 200 research articles on limonene, which is in an orange essential oil, which is supporting the effect of comprehensive agents against cancer cells. And of course, turmeric again contains turmerone, which may help fight breast cancer, colon cancer, and leukemia. So the right nutrients can support you before, during, and after cancer treatments to help you maintain energy levels, better tolerate side effects, and reduce the risk of infection and support recovery. Whole foods are the most beneficial for supporting the body. Eating whole fruits and vegetables rather than juicing to get the most fiber and the slow release of carbohydrates. Protein from lean meat and dairy provide more of an important build up nutrients that the body needs for repair, recovery, and energy. And trying to eat organic. Regulations for organic foods and other products prohibit many cancer-causing substances. There are definitely a few things that should be avoided, things like processed foods, especially like the processed meats because of the nitrates. Alcohol can be contraindicated, so it can have some counter effects with any treatment. And if you're having too high of a fiber in your diet could lead to like a loss of appetite, or it can lead to diarrhea. And reducing stress during cancer treatment, it can be particularly stressful, and high levels of stress can hinder your recovery. So finding ways to relax as much as possible, spending time outdoors, practicing meditation and yoga. All right, so chickenpox is a viral infection that causes itchy, blister-like rash. It can be contagious to people who haven't had it or haven't been vaccinated against it. For most people, chickenpox is mild. The infection usually lasts 5 to 7 days. Common signs and symptoms of chickenpox include a rash, fever, loss of appetite, headache, and tiredness. Once chickenpox rash occurs, it will go through 3 phases: raised, pink, or red bumps, fluid-filled blisters that will break and leak after a day, and finally crusts and scabs that will take several days to mend. So the only thing I could really kind of find about herbs and supplements is, first of all, elderberry promotes the production of cytokines, which are the body's cellular messengers that keep the immune system healthy. And a probiotic supplement helps boost the immune system. Since 80% of our immune system is housed in the digestive tract. And I wasn't sure of anything else. I do know that there's certain things like you could do like an oatmeal bath, that sort of thing, but that's probably more on the other end. But Corinne, do you know of anything else specific to Sol that would be helpful if kids got chickenpox?
Vital.
Oh, Vital. Yeah.
So as someone that gets shingles or used to get shingles a lot, because I've had chronic shingles for 20 years, vaccinations or anything do not do anything for me. And because I've had them so many times, there would be times where it'd be every other week. And it wasn't until I started with Sol and the Adaptable and the Vital, and I'm sure a lot of the other things, but I feel like that's the most important one is the Vital and the Adaptable that really help with that, because that is the same virus, but I know it's triggered by stress. But I would just say lots of Vital and Renew for a kid.
And I would think too that the Flex cream would be helpful applied to the skin as well. We're going to talk about shingles as well. So.
You guys, the balance bar that we have, I just had a gal say that lots of different skin rashes, kids' acne's clearing up just with that balance bar. That's what they're using as their little moisturizer. So, so that is a great one. She said she's using that on rashes all over the area, all over the body. So
some essential oils can help, especially with the itching and the blisters. Lavender contains antimicrobial properties. It can speed the repair of blisters and scabs, soothe the skin, and relieves itchiness and irritation. Manuka soothes the skin and has antiviral benefits to fight off infections. Tea tree is also antiviral, and it can relieve skin inflammation and destroy the bad bacteria and infections. And chamomile, which we know is actually inside our Renew, even though this is being talked about as an essential oil, promotes healthy skin, relieves irritations, and can penetrate below the skin surface. So even taking some of those oils, which we know the lavender for sure, chamomile, this is in balance. I can't remember. I usually go through and put these on, and I forgot to do it. I was going to go back and do it. But yeah, putting that balance, probably even inside the Flex AC cream or the bar, obviously, but if you don't have the bar, and then applying that to the skin would be helpful.
Chamomile's also in the Calm.
Oh yeah, I knew it was in one of the oils as well. Okay, so chickenpox eggs, you can mix equal parts of lavender, tea tree, lemon, and oregano diluted with coconut oil, soak it in a cotton ball and the mixture, and apply 3 times a day. Use immune building blend with these oils, apply along the spine and the soles of the feet. So you could probably do the same thing with like with the balance and the Calm, mixing those together. Find those. Okay, so cold and flu. We talked a little bit specifically about, I think, cold before, but we'll talk about it a little bit more today. So Catching cold or flu is inconvenient and unpleasant. It's also to some extent avoidable if taken preventative action. Natural remedies not only boost the resistance, but they also can help shorten the duration of the illness if you do succumb to a virus. So antimicrobial herbs help to fight the infection and can be supported with herbs to boost your immunity. Herbs that promote sweating and reduce fever also help manage these. Elderberry has been proven antiviral activity to help fight infection. Echinacea is an antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory, and boosts white blood cell counts. Elderflower promotes sweating to lower fever and is soothing and anti-phlegm. So we know that a lot of our other products are anti-phlegm as well, especially from the Clear line. So we also know that the Soul Clear SI is really going to help with that as well. Also, Soulflex PI really helps with the fever as well. Taking lots of vitamin C and zinc, which we know both vitamin C is in several of our products, and same with zinc is in several of our products. And the magnesium, which is also in several. Well, wait a minute. I just must have accidentally not deleted this from my last slide. Scratch that. But we know that those are helpful. And like when we've talked about the man flu, drinking the Renew hot, opening up that capsule of So Clear SI and putting that in there a couple times a day, drinking Vital, drinking Cinnamate, all of those things are helpful. I must have forgotten to change this slide altogether. Jeez, brain fog week. Sorry. Didn't change any of that. Did I change this one? I did change this one though. So one of the things I've been reading about lately actually is elderberry. So if you get, once again, I'm not a doctor, but I actually have learned this from a couple of doctors. If you end up with the COVID, you should not be taking elderberry. Apparently that contributes to that, what do they call it? The psychotic, not psychotic, but that storm.
A cytokine storm.
A cytokine storm, not psychotic storm. But I guess it can contribute to that because of what it does. Not that any of our stuff has the elderberry in it, but it's more calming to do the other things, that we just talked about, the Renew and the probiotics and the Soul Clear SI, that sort of thing.
Okay, so those of you that don't know what the cytokine storm is, it's basically when the immune system attacks the immune system, and it kind of leads to one thing after another, and it just kind of wreaks havoc. You think about what a storm, and I actually picture that, of things flying around and rain and hail or whatever, but that's what your immune system is doing, is attacking your body, attacking all the good stuff as well.
Yeah. One of my really good friends, she was my freshman year roommate, and she's a ER doctor in New York. So she starts her message the other day, Tiffany, I love you and I love what you do. Please don't tell people to use elderberry. I'm like, I don't even sell elderberry. And she's like, oh, okay, but this is why. And I was like, no, I don't do that. She goes, I thought maybe, I just wanted you to know. I was like, I don't even sell elderberry. Don't even take it. All right. So essential oils can also be helpful to relieve cold and flu symptoms, especially some of the things that come with it, that sore throat and the congestion and the fatigue, the fever, that sort of thing. So like tea tree and manuka will help with congestion to support respiratory tract and have promoting antiviral capabilities. So even though they're talking about manuka here, like as an essential oil, manuka honey is in some of our products, especially our drinks. I don't remember which ones, but they're sweetened with some of that manuka honey. It's the same thing. Lemon is a natural disinfectant, and it can help fight bacteria and viruses in the home and on the body, and it can help boost the immune system. And we know that lemon is in some of our essential oil blends. Thyme has been shown to help drain congestion and help with infections in the chest and the throat. And it has the ability to eliminate infections and flush the toxins from the body and also help promote sleep. And then eucalyptus and peppermint. And peppermint's not in our blends, but eucalyptus is. It's an expectorant that helps cleanse the body of toxins and harmful microorganisms that can lead to the flu. So I really like to have the diffusers going, especially if anybody's sick or think they're going to be sick. Also putting, oils, I dilute them for the kids. I don't really dilute them for myself. I probably should, but no. But most of the time I'm using the rollers anyway. They're already diluted. Putting them on my chest, feet, that sort of thing, especially before, it's going to help open everything up and kind of get things moving. And a quick little lifestyle. When you're suffering with a cold or a flu, eating light, nutrient-dense meals with complex carbohydrates and plenty of fluids will help you get through it faster. So herpes is in the family of viruses that form part of a community of microorganisms in the body. When we're run down, these can become active. Cold sores are the most common manifestations. For herpes infections, also cause genital herpes, chickenpox, and shingles. Infections can appear as small pimples, rashes, or blisters and can cause tingling, itching, burning, and are highly contagious. So antiviral and immune boosting herbs can be used internally to help fight herpes infections. Use these alongside anti-inflammatory herbs applied topically to reduce discomfort. So once again, echinacea supports and boosts the immune system to promote healing. Lemon balm, which is also known as Melissa, is specifically active against the herpes virus. St. John's wort is an anti-inflammatory and an antiviral. It can also help to heal and soothe nerve damage. Vitamin C helps fight cold sores by inactivating the herpes simplex virus, and zinc can reduce the frequency, duration, and severity of both herpes and shingles infections. I used to get a lot of mouth cold sores. Ironically, I was going to say, I haven't had one and I don't know how long. And then I remember I got really bad when we were in Utah. But I do think that because for years I would get them so regularly that I don't get them very frequently now. Just I think, and it's from using the Sol all the time. So there's some essential oils that are antiviral and anti-inflammatory that help relieve viral symptoms. Thyme is a good remedy for drug-resistant strain to herpes. Manuka, which once again, this is talking as an essential oil, but that Manuka honey is in some of our drinks, helps balance the inflammation and soothe skin. Myrrh acts as an antiseptic and is used to clean and soothe cuts or wounds, soothe chapped, cracked, or infected skin. And lavender protects and nourishes hydration to dry, cracked skin. It cools inflammation and soothes bacterial viral infections. So, my nose is so itchy this morning. So you definitely, if you're using the oils, you want to do it like externally. You don't necessarily, if they're inside the mouth, you don't necessarily want to put them inside your mouth. However, I was putting Solflex AC cream inside my mouth to help with it most of the time. Okay, so an infection is the invasion of the body tissue by disease-causing agents. These agents are able to multiply, cause a reaction in the body tissues, and produce toxins within the body. An infection can lead to countless symptoms, from a sore throat to a fever to far more serious things, right? So worldwide, infectious diseases are the leading cause of death in children and adolescents, and one of the leading causes in adults. Infections may cause germs such as viruses, bacteria, parasites, fungi. Many of the constituents of essential oils and herbs and natural ingredients can help fight those germs and help you recover from or possibly aid infection. So some of the same things, ginger, which is in some of our, stuff, is really helpful to help fight against E. coli and salmonella. It helps through the digestive tract, so especially if you get an infection that causes, something like, diarrhea, that sort of thing. The cinnamon in our cinnamate is really good I think I forgot to change this slide. It still will. But anyway, the cinnamon in the cinnamate is going to be really, really helpful for help fighting off those things as well. The Renew and the Vertizymes that has that marshmallow root help reduce inflammation in the body. And the licorice root, which is an avant-garde. So I think I forgot to change this slide, actually. I think I am totally lost my mind this week. But we know those things help with, the infections and that sort of thing when you start to get sick and come down with things, which we kind of already talked about. Definitely some essential oils. Once again, I don't know why, but I didn't change this slide. Things like oregano, cedarwood, manuka, again, which is in our drinks, right? And thyme. They just have powerful microbial benefits. The cedar wood helps defend against toxins, and that's in one of our blends as well. Fights off bacteria in the body. So like I said, I really like to just certain times a year when there's just stuff going around, I like to diffuse them. Each of my kids have diffusers in their bedroom, my bedroom, this room. I just keep the diffusers going because it'll kind of help kill any of those airborne things. And also, just kind of open up, like when I start to get stuffy and that sort of thing, or the kids get stuffy. All right, let's see if I was good and changed these slides. I think I did. So inflammation is the process of a healthy protective mechanism linked to the immune system to aid in healing. However, inflammation is prolonged, it can trigger serious diseases. So we know that inflammation can come from, a lot of times it starts in the gut, but inflammation can go anywhere in the body and cause issues, which can lead to an immune response. And prolonged inflammation, I'm just going to add to this, can lead to autoimmune responses, which is definitely an immune response. So the use of antioxidants to restore and restorative tonic herbs help reduce inflammation in the body and restore healthy metabolic processes. So Schisandra, which is in our Adaptable and our Renew, is an antioxidant that helps prevent cellular damage, and it works particularly well on the liver and the brain. The licorice root, which is in our avant-greens, has steroid-like molecules, which can help calm inflammation, especially if it's linked to autoimmune disorders. Turmeric helps relieve inflammation in the entire body, including the joints and the gut. The omega-3s in our Solmegas is basically nature's inflammation cooling remedies. And vitamin D is an anti-inflammatory. And studies show that when levels of vitamin D are low, we are more prone to colds, allergies, infection, and most people with, things like autoimmune have low vitamin D. I love frankincense. I had no idea how amazing it is. It really is super amazing, but it encourages circulation and decreases symptoms of joint or muscle discomfort related to the overuse of certain conditions. So frankincense, the plant is in the Solflex PI, the Boswellia plant. It is also inside our Balance essential oil. So if you take, like I do, Solflex PI every day, you're taking frankincense every day. Patchouli is also, I think it's in our Calm blend, but it can address internal inflammation and how it can affect your joints. So also dealing with external inflammation can manifest in skin issues. And ginger contains what's called zingiberine and gingerols, which have potent inflammation cooling properties. So reducing stress is going to be a huge lifestyle that's going to help reduce inflammation, because we know that when we're under stress and that cortisol is up, our inflammation is up. So trying things like meditation to relieve stress, because chronic stress triggers the release of high levels of inflammatory hormones. Getting sufficient sleep. We know that when we're not sleeping enough, our body is not doing the repair that it needs. And when it's not doing the repair, that is linked to chronic inflammation. Keeping our blood sugar under control. We know that too much processed sugar causes inflammation in the body. And things like massage, other natural things like massage, acupuncture, that sort of thing, those can help reduce inflammation in the body as well. All right, so lupus is an autoimmune disorder where the immune system mistakenly attacks and destroys healthy tissues, which causes pain and inflammation. Lupus commonly affects the skin, the areas such as the brain, the kidneys, the lungs, and other organs and tissues can also suffer. Systematic lupus is the most common type of the disorder, and it is mostly found in women. So there are certain herbs that can help support deficient immunity and strengthen the liver, and antioxidant and antiviral herbs stabilize the cells and tissues. So Eleuthero, which is also known as Siberian ginseng, is a tonic antioxidant herb that helps strengthen immunity. Astragalus acts as an immune tonic, strengthening and protecting the liver. The turmeric is an anti-inflammatory antioxidant boost that helps boost immunity and helps detoxify the liver. Ginkgo biloba is an antioxidant that promotes healthy cells and tissues. The omega-3s are going to help calm that inflammation. And of course, the vitamin D can help with lupus sufferers because we know that a lot of people with autoimmune also have low vitamin D levels. So essential oils that can be helpful are things, again, like frankincense, which cools the inflammation, helichrysum, which is really helpful to help calm certain autoimmune. Lavender and geranium, cool inflammation. Ginger and turmeric, also great to support the gut and to cool inflammation. A plant-based diet with fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and only moderate amounts of lean meat and fish are ideal. Staying hydrated with 1.5 to 2 liters of fluid a day from water or herbal teas. We know that eating fishy oil, like oily fishes such as salmon and mackerel, they're really high in the anti-inflammatory omega-3s, are helpful to be eating. I thought this was interesting that dairy can provide the calcium if fortified, the vitamin D for bone health. But it also helps if you're taking lupus medications because that can increase your risk of osteoporosis. So having that dairy, but we all know that you can get some of the same benefits from things other than dairy. Nutrient-rich broth can reduce symptoms associated with lupus. Olive and coconut oil help nourish the skin. And you want to try to avoid, which I thought this was interesting, alfalfa, because it can aggravate symptoms with lupus. Okay, so Lyme disease. So this is interesting because my friend almost exactly a year ago came to me and said, my daughter is just diagnosed with Lyme's disease and I don't want her to do this round of antibiotics. What should I do? And so we treated her with Sol products and she no longer has symptoms of Lyme disease, but it's a bacterial infection that I think it's most widely known that it's transmitted by deer ticks or black-legged ticks. However, I was doing a lot of reading and apparently that's only just one way you can get Lyme's disease. There's other ways you can get Lyme's disease, which is pretty interesting. So being diagnosed can be difficult. Many people have Lyme's disease and it may be misdiagnosed for other conditions. Symptoms can start like flu-like symptoms, including headaches and muscles and joint pain. You may see a bullseye rash if you were actually bit by something that kind of looks like this occur. And over time, your symptoms can worsen into chronic inflammatory diseases. So I thought it was really weird that 4 years ago, I think I was seeing an allergist or something, and I thought it was really weird that he's like, you need to go and be tested for Lyme's. And I was like, this is before I had an official diagnosis of fibro. And I thought, well, that's weird because I have not been bit by a tick or anything. But he's like, no, I mean, at any time, like that can manifest in different ways, and that could be what's going on with you. But I always thought that was kind of weird, even though that came up negative, and it was tested several times. However, if you do have that, there are some things that you can herbs that you can treat. So probiotics, we know, strengthen the immune system and the digestive system, but they also help fight, symptoms of Lyme disease. Ginseng relieves tension in the muscles of the face and the neck, which can and also reduce fever and fatigue. The licorice root helps prevent and protect neurological symptoms associated, especially with the chronic fatigue that can come with that. The St. John wort stops inflammatory reactions, and of course, increased vitamin D is helpful as well. So when my friend's daughter did this, I'm trying to think. I think we started with the 14-day detox, but we did it longer. I think we did it for like a month. And then I put her on the balance package. And she stayed on that for 6 months. And I don't remember how long ago it was that Lori called and said, okay, we went back to the doctor and she's now negative. So good, I guess. Essential oils, once again, we're kind of seeing some of the same things, frankincense, chamomile, because they help reduce that inflammation in the body and that immune response. Lemongrass wards off. So if you're like going to be somewhere camping or whatever, lemongrass is going to help ward off insects. So if you know you're going to be like out hiking in the woods or whatever, that's a good one to kind of have on you, or that you could be using to help kind of repel the bugs and the ticks. Let's see. Diet and lifestyle. That's the other thing I worked on with my friend's daughter was diet, actually. So high amounts of vitamin A. So that's lots of dark leafy greens, the yellows, the orange fruits and vegetables daily. Taking hot baths, it says, or whirlpool treatments, but I don't know where you are if I would trust the other chemicals in there, but that heat can help relieve joint pain. Plenty of garlic in the diet is a natural antibiotic and immune booster. And if you're being treated for Lyme disease and you're not getting better, consider having yourself retested, because you could have false positives or you may actually have a different problem. So, which might have been her case, but she's totally fine now. Who knows? Okay, so rheumatoid arthritis is another autoimmune disease characterized by chronic joint inflammation, which causes the eventual destruction of cartilage in the bone. Sufferers can be in constant pain, and the disease can worsen over time with devastating impacts on the quality of life. So herbs can help regulate and strengthen the immune system, fight infections, and in the inflammation and in the joints. Is this one of these things where I did not change this again? Maybe I did. The things that are really helpful, the ginger, the probiotics, the omegas, once again, vitamin D. I would also say the Solflex PI in there is really going to be helpful for this. The Vital is going to be super helpful for this. As far as essential oils go, one of the ones they're talking about is like the clove, the ginger, and the nutmeg, because they help with relieving pain. And some of those things are in our lift category. So you can add some drops of those oils, and it says into a fragrance-free lotion. I would actually put it in the AC cream and just gently massage it into your hands. So I don't know if I have like early arthritis in my hands or if it's just part of the fibro, but that is why I keep this stuff everywhere, because my hands can really, really hurt sometimes. So I just use this. I don't put anything else in it. And this is like super, super helpful for me in relieving kind of that pain in my hands. Okay, so we talked a little bit about shingles with the chicken pox, but we're going to talk about it again. So shingles is an inflammatory viral infection that causes red blistering rash from the skin. It's in the same category as chicken pox. It's mostly seen in adults. And we talked before that we were talking about, drinking the Vital and the Renew were helpful with that. Applying the AC cream. Also things like adding garlic, which is an anti-inflammatory and antiviral properties, can help. Licorice root is also helpful at combating shingles. And some of the essential oils that you could use to help strengthen the immune system and cool inflammation. And Corinne was saying the balance oil especially was really helpful with this. Guys, my nose is like, I don't know what the deal is. Okay, strep throat is a bacterial infection that causes inflammation in the throat. A common symptom of strep can include fever, sore red throat, white patches, headache, chills, swollen lymph nodes, and trouble swallowing. So herbs that can be helpful with this are garlic, echinacea, cardamom, cinnamate, or cinnamon, because the cinnamon is warming and soothing. So even drinking the cinnamate, or even drinking, I even would say the Renew, warm, hot. I would even say adding in that Soul Clear SI. Those are all things that are really going to be helpful if you have strep. And essential oils, these should not be taken orally, but you can apply them over your throat, like over your throat chakra, to be helpful. Things with eucalyptus in them. One of our blends has eucalyptus. Thyme and oregano, those are in both of our blends as well. Those are all antimicrobials, properties that help boost the immune system and fight infection and can even help lower. Man, I cannot think today. I didn't drink coffee this morning. I actually have coffee and cinnamate mixed together. It's a yummy treat. This can all be helpful. So as usual, if you want to come off mute and share any testimonials you have with any of these. Next week, we'll talk about the endocrine system, the hormone system. I feel a little like I'm in a bit of a fog today. I'm going to be quite honest with you.